I want everybody to go put the word out. We back up. Hey. Let's get it. All right, so One Piece. I don't know. Oda's giving a lot to his stronger soldiers, Admiral fans. But he has this thing. I'm not sure the reason behind it. He's just answering 10 special questions. So you know how Oda gets SBS questions? He answers the worst ones and answers like 2 good ones. He's answering 10 special questions, special ones. So I'm like, okay, answering all 10 great questions. I say 10 special questions, meaning questions that he wouldn't normally answer. He's answering them, and we got the answers here. Okay. I skimmed through them. Didn't really go too depth in some of them. I'm gonna save my opinion. We're just gonna go through and let's not waste too much time. Also, shout out to Pew Piece. This is the source of today's video. So check out Pew Piece. Link in the description below if you want to see it for yourself. But I'm not gonna put the link there until you guys don't watch this. It's not gonna pop up. Nah. The link is in the description. Let's get to it though. Let's get to it. Okay, Oda's special Q&A. First question. When Luffy's using Gear 5, he pulls out things like goggles and baseball helmet from what looks like a Hagoromo, the feathered raiment. Please tell us how this works. So you know Luffy has, the thing around him, his sash that I would call it. It's a Hagoromo, apparently. And Oda's answer is pretty simple, not too in-depth. It's the entrance to Nika's fantasy. I mean, I don't know. It's not too much I can do with that. The entrance to Nika's fantasy, I guess all I take away from that is that's something that, I'm not saying that grants Luffy his power, but the entrance to the fantasy, meaning that's the connection that Luffy has with the Hagoromo. Does that mean that the Hagoromo could be a weakness if it's destroyed? But it being the entrance to Nika's fantasy is, if not anything, an interesting answer. Next question. Question 2 was Sabo inherited the Maramara no Mi, the flame fruit. He's demonstrating his power to the fullest. Did he do some training to properly use the Maramara no Mi? Wow. Okay. I don't know who's asking the questions or where it came from, but we literally saw Sabo training in the actual story. Asking a question that we have the answers to in the actual story. Why? But here's Oda's answer. He's training every day. I think that Sabo, who regained his memory, remembered a lot of things. This could mean a few things, right? So one, obviously Sabo's training every day. So he's training, and him getting stronger, it's not gonna be crazy because Oda's saying Sabo is training every day, right? Literally every day. Secondly, he remembered a lot of things. So I don't know if Oda is implying that Sabo got even more stronger after remembering things from Ace, because remember, he forgot Ace. Does that mean he forgot his trainings with Ace? So after now he got all his memory back, instinctively his training with Ace came back, all those back and forths, the fights they had, so inherently made him stronger. A reach, okay? A reach. Luffy level reach, but remembered a lot of things. Why? I mean, I can't even say like, oh, he remembered things that Ace used to do because he was never around Ace necessarily when Ace had the Maramara no Mi. So that's the only thing I can surmise from that. That was question 2. Question 3. This is interesting. Has Dragon ever lived together with Luffy? Now, Oda had a cop-out answer a little bit from what I remember. He says, no, at least not in what Luffy remembers. See, that's a cop-out. That's a cop-out. That's not telling us everything. Because no, not what Luffy remember. I mean, of course, Luffy's not gonna remember. He's a baby. He's a kid. Has he ever lived with Luffy? Yeah or no? He said, well, nah, not at least what Luffy remember. Okay. All right, Oda. You're good at this. You're good at this. He says he is different with Kuma because he's the leader of the Revolutionary Army, and if their parentage relationship is revealed, it'll endanger Luffy's life. I wonder what kind of feeling he felt when he's forced to leave his family, and what did he think when he saw his son in Logtown? Okay, he's different with Kuma because he's the leader of the Revolutionary Army, and if their parentage relationship is revealed, it'll endanger Luffy's life. Okay, I mean, all this makes sense, straightforward, but he's saying he's never lived with Luffy. So I'm assuming that he never had those moments with Luffy's mom and that he had to leave immediately out, even after Luffy was born, just because the danger that it would bring to Luffy's life, which makes a ton of sense. I mean, Oda is leaving a lot of things ambiguous, which makes sense because I would like for it to be in the story, how Dragon feels when he saw Luffy in Logtown, how he feels about Luffy now, how he felt leaving his family. So how he even got a family, because Dragon's somebody, like I say it all the time, for somebody that seems to be as focused as Dragon, to go and have a baby in the midst of that. Epic screw up, or how amazing was this woman? That's all I'm saying. 4th question. The ship of Blackbeard pirates is named Saber of Zebek. Does it have any relation to Rock's D. Zebek? I mean, guys, come on. Come on. Oda says, answer, Zebek is the name of a sailing ship, so it could be a coincidence or maybe not. Here's my thing. If you're not going to answer the question, don't choose the question, because it's just like an SBS at that point. I guess it is a special SBS, but like, what's the point of answering the question if you're not going to answer the question? You know what I'm saying? And I think this is an obvious answer because he didn't answer the question. So yes, it is connected. So maybe that's enough. I just feel like it's an unnecessary question. Don't ask a question like this. Next question. The fifth question is the Kamusari, divine departure attack that took out Kid in one hit. Was that move taught by Roger, or did Shanks learn it by imitating him? Good question. Oda says he remembered it because he always looks up to Roger. It's not just something that anyone from the Roger Pirates can imitate, so Shanks' talent is quite astonishing. So, not gonna say which character, but in Hunter x Hunter, there's a character that can somewhat copy abilities if they're hit by a physical attack, I believe. And it can just copy it and use it damn near right away. People that know. This is astonishing is a perfect word because he's saying Roger did not teach this to Shanks. Shanks saw this attack, remembered it, and used this attack. So Shanks' talent, just his talent, has to be towards like the top of the verse. I mean, he's already at the top of the verse as a fighter, but his talent to, bro, yes, you can just use an attack and be like, well, that's just, and call it anything, right? But he's copying Roger's attack. That is Roger's attack that he saw it. And because he looked up to Roger, memorized it and used it. And he said, bro, not all the Roger pirates can't just do that. So Shanks is special and rarely wouldn't do that. That'd be Supreme Glaze. Like, that's just weird. Like, you know, it could be a homage, like, but this is interesting. You know, Shanks doesn't need more glaze, but nothing wrong with more glaze, you know? Question 6 says, please tell us the bounty system of Cross Guild, or tell us how the bounty system of Cross Guild works. Oda says the answer, the Fleet Admiral, 5 crowns. Admiral 3 crowns, Vice Admiral 5 stars, Rear Admiral 3 stars, Captain and Commodore 1 star, Field Officers, Commander rank and below 1 million berry, right? Company officers below 100,000 berry. 1 crown equals 10 stars, 1 star equals 100 million berry. So, all right. So famous Marine is a special case. So if you're just famous without necessarily a rank, then okay. So from what we know, because Oda has given us this before, 1 crown is 1 bill, okay? 1 crown is 1 bill. So admirals were worth 3 bill because they had 3 crowns. The Fleet Admiral is 5 bill. So technically, outside of someone like Dragon, who presumed to have the largest bounty just because of his danger and the threat level to the world government, the Fleet Admiral has the highest bounty in the story. Your cinema. Okay, all right, let's not overreact. let's not overreact. $5 bill. We're not gonna do too much, all right? Just because, I mean, you know, the Fleet Admiral is important, okay? And so, wow, that's insane. I thought, you know, listen, Oda's been seeing the slander, okay? He's been seeing the slander and how people go crazy and they dance when the Yonko do something and they crap on the admirals just because, you know, they're not as brain dead, you know, and they have to have somewhat of a heart, some of them. But wow, five crowns. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Next question. 7th question. As a 10th ship captain of the Blackbeard Pirates, what kind of work does Kuzan Aokiji actually do? And does he have subordinates? Decent question. Says he has subordinates. He's not the type to obey everything Blackbeard says. For Kuzan, being a part of the pirate crew doesn't necessarily mean he must do evil deeds. Rather, it implies living freely. However, as a member of the Blackbeard Pirates, it seems he also has caused many casualties. He's a pirate. He's a pirate, and I mean, like I've been saying, he is still him. People look at it as him switching to Blackbeard's side and just assimilating himself. That's not what he's done, in my opinion. I made a video about Aokiji and the difference between Aokiji and Kuzan. You know, I'll link it below if you want to check it out. And this person, this is his version of living freely. And that's why, you know, even to fight with Garp, he's choosing to live and enact justice the way he sees fit, because at the end of the day, he was like Dragon. I don't see any justice with the Marines. And for me, I don't want to be a revolutionary. I have somewhat similar aspirations, but I think that'd be too boring if he just became a revolutionary, because we have that theory for people that just leave the Marines. Just become no. This is a very interesting route, but at the end of the day, we go back to his conversation with Doflamingo. I'm still me. And if you believed in the character that Aokiji was when he was with the Marines, you have to also understand who Kuzan is as a pirate. Still a good person, but, you know, sometimes you're gonna have to push the envelope. Casualties, that's just a matter of being a pirate. How many people has Luffy killed? Undocumented, right? It's probably countless. Just because collateral damage, we saw the fan letter. We don't even know. And Luffy doesn't really care at the end of the day. So yeah, he's caused many casualties, but hey, That's the life of a pirate. And we'll see what his story is at the end. But yeah, Oda confirms it. Yeah, he's living freely. And he's not just doing what Blackbeard says. So that's good. That's good. Hopefully people understand more now. Hopefully. Goddamn, is this the Admiral month? Is this the month of the Marines? Question 8. What kind of system is the world military draft that added Fujitora and Ryukyu to the Marine forces? What kind of system? The answer is countries affiliated with the world government have their own soldiers for protection. Through the world military draft, the Marines strengthened their military by drafting the most capable soldiers from these ranks. This draft also became a trigger for the recent 8-nation revolution, as the weakening of national defense forces may have contributed to the revolution's success. Now that's important because it's saying, all right, so the draft is the world, right? The Marines, world government, drafting from smaller protection agencies that each country could have, countries affiliated. So let's say Lelouchia, they had a small group, right, that protected Lelouchia, had like their own police, and the world government, they have a draft, says, hey, if you want to come to the draft, you can apply. Some people are recommended, some people are, might be mandatory. They go, maybe they do some Doriki tests, whatever. And then people that are impressive, they draft them to now their official world government employees or officers. But because of that, they took some of the strongest people from these smaller countries, and that led to the revolution, which could be, one, people are revolting because, well, they're weakening the country's defenses that the world government can't always defend, and also because the defenses are weakened, that gives the revolutionaries more openings to kind of sway the people. So this is actually a really good question. Really good question. Started off as like, what system? But then Oda added enough to make this question worthwhile. Good question. Question 9. Please tell us about the Rocky Port incident that became the cause of Kobe being hailed as a hero. Okay, so I did not see this one. So this is my first time actually seeing this one. All right, the answer is, since explaining it would take too long, and I don't think this would be depicted in the main story, but here's a summary of the Rocky Port incident. Huh? He giving this here? All right, hearing that the pirate island holds an important poneglyph, Law hijacked a massive passenger ship called the Rocky Port and infiltrated the island. This ship happened to be carrying the king, an important nobleman of a certain country. However, the ship Law wanted to board was actually a smuggling vessel, flying the same nation's flag and involved in dealings with Pirate Island, which led to major trouble. Law clashed with the pirates, and soon after, Kobe and Blackbeard separately arrived on the island for their own reasons, leading the three to join forces. As a result of this incident, Blackbeard became the king of Pirate Island. Law was recognized as one of the 7 warlords of the sea, and Kobe was hailed as a hero. Holy shit. So Law or Kobe had his own version of what Garp did with Roger? This is insane. Law had a team up with Blackbeard. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't mean to be critical, but if we had seen the Rocky Port incident in the story beforehand, Law versus Blackbeard would feel a bit more significant than it was, where low-key it felt random, which it was technically supposed to be random because Blackbeard was just waiting for whomever popped up. But knowing that they teamed up on Rocky Port because they had their own goals, but it's just like enemy of my enemy, friend, whatever. It would be more impactful seeing them team up, Blackbeard seeing Law's attacks, Law's moves, Law seeing Blackbeard attacks, Blackbeard's attacks, Blackbeard's moves, and now they're meeting after in the new world again and clashing. It would have been more impactful. This is cool to know, but man, if we had seen this, something small, a chapter for the Rocky Port, just a chapter. Could have been in Punk Hazard, right? Punk Hazard. After they talked about Law and the hearts and the pirates, how many hearts he sent to the world government to become a warlord, boom. So now, okay, they teamed up. My question is, how is Kobe a hero? I guess some people were saved? Like, why would Kobe be hailed a hero here? I guess some people were saved, or because he went to... Okay, so Law went for a poneglyph. Is it a red? It can be a red poneglyph. Could it have been? Could it have been? This needs more. This needs more. I don't know. And he says it's a summary. He says it's not going to be depicted in the main story. So I guess we're going to get more about it at some point. But come on, Oda. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Wow. Question 10 now. Okay, during the God Valley incident, St. Garling went and confronted the pirates, but how strong is his combat abilities? Oda's answer, he's strong. There's a reason for his strength. Okay, that's interesting. Oda did not just only say he's strong, he's saying there's a reason for his strength, meaning there are outside factors that could amplify or explain his overwhelming strength. I don't know. This is good. This is good. All right. I mean, we know Garling was strong. He became a Gorosei. Should be affiliated somewhat with Shanks, but there's a reason for his strength. is interesting. That makes things way more interesting and kind of ups my expectations for Garling a bit. Good 10 questions. Here's what I'd say though. Oda kept it safe with some questions. With these questions was somewhat vague. I think even with the Rocky Port stuff, there's not enough information, Oda. I need more. That's probably the most interesting thing, just because it's how important it is. Man, that would have been great to see, especially even before seeing Kobe go to Pirate Island, because he's returning there. But that's my personal gripes. Oda is in his bag. A lot of marine stuff though. A lot of marine stuff. I'm not sure, is this, okay. I'm like, is this a rollout? Are we gonna have a marine movie or something? Right, another movie centered around the Marines, like Film Z? That'd be fire. I don't know. Let me know what you think, guys. Leave your comments below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content like this, because we're not gonna stop. Like the video, of course. And wow, I think I need to make a video about the Rocky Port incident just by itself. And maybe Akainu having 5 billion. Everything else is kind of straightforward, right? Yeah. We'll talk. I'll see you guys soon.